Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Mario So, and in today's video, I want to talk about one very important thing that is often missed in videos. And for today's example, I'll be talking about it through the lens of a product video. Let's go. So the thing that many times we miss or we overlook when we're doing our videos is our background or our set design. Specifically for product videos, there is a time and place for seamless backgrounds or for shots using a green screen or a blue screen where you can key out your item. But in today's video, we're not going to use green screens at all or blue screens, and we're not going to be masking anything at all. Today, it's all about set design and how we can make our scene fit a certain vibe. So for today's video, we're using this non-alcoholic beer, Sober Carpenter, as our product. They have 5 different flavors that we'll showcase, but as you can tell by the name Carpenter, that right away just yells wood to me. So before I even started all of this, I went on Pinterest to get ideas of sets of beer and wood and a woody sort of earthy tone. And I got a lot of different ideas, and I went ahead and just picked up items around my house. I just happened to have a lot of wood stuff that would fit this video. And I also picked up a few things at the dollar store. So I picked this thing up. Not sure what it's used for, but it was about $2. And I think this kind of matches the vibe of the wood that I want to go for. So there's this crate as well from IKEA that I have at home. Actually a little hidey house for my bunnies. And just a few things here. So having good set design is going to make your video really evoke the vibes that you're trying to give. And when you have real objects in the background, real props, that's going to save you a ton of time in post because you won't have to mask anything out or add anything into the scene. And it's going to make it look a lot more realistic and less fake. Most of the time when you're using a green screen, you can tell that the background is maybe fake or it doesn't fully match the scene seamlessly. So right now I'm just setting up the last shot, the last hero shot, and as usual, this is the first shot that you have to get before we get messy, because you want your products intact before you start messing around with them. And as you can see in the background, my background right here is pretty terrible, if I can say. It's actually some sticky paper with a wooden pattern. As you can see, it's falling off the wall already. This is just to cover parts in the background that might show the white wall. And another trick is to shoot at a longer focal length. When you shoot at a longer focal length, you compress your background. You're able to have a more of a narrow field of view, therefore more chances of you to hide what's outside of this thing right here. So the white walls, you can hide it better, as opposed to a wide angle lens where you would see the entire wall and all of this ugly stuff that I have going on. So before I get started, also making sure that this glass is clean. As you can see, it's quite dirty. And I'll actually use gloves to handle the product so it doesn't get fingerprints. I'm using a polarizing filter on my lens, and that way it just helps me cut away some of the glare that I might be getting from the cans or from the glass. So let me run through the lighting situation and the setup situation that we have going on here. So to the right, we have Aputure Amaran 100D. It's at 11%, pointing it towards this diffuser that I have right here. It's a little bit rectangular, so it's able to give me like a nicer line across the can right here. I have some grains, can't remember what these are called, but these I have at home. This from the dollar store. I have this stuff over here because earlier with my shot, there was a tiny spot right here. There was a tiny spot right here that you could see some of the green tape. So I just added some of these things that I have at home just to make it blend with the background. On this side, we have a Godox rectangular softbox, again for a nicer line straight down the can. And this is just on a Ninja 300 by Relight. One more light down here, just a tube light, just to give me a little bit of light on that background. I felt like I was missing something in the scene right here, so I just added my kitchen towel to make it look a little bit fuller. I felt like that side was missing a little bit, so. A little trick when doing photography or video with beer, if you want it to foam up, use a little bit of salt. Sprinkle of salt does the job. So what I'm doing here is I'm capturing this with the rotation and also without the rotation, so that in case the match cuts with the rotation don't work well, at least I can have the static ones that I can use to cut through the different flavors. So what I did now is just capture some close-ups, some macro shots of just the water droplets dropping the can. And now I'm just going to get fishing wire. Not sure if I'm in the dark there. I'm gonna get fishing wire. I'm just gonna pull open just the lid or the can. It's already open, and it's gonna wrap it around and push it open like that to give you that impression that you're opening the can. I also did a similar shot last year with another drink, so link it up here if you want to check out how I did that masking transition from the opening to the can to inside the can. Okay, next we have a simple pouring shot, but one thing that I'm doing now is adding this little pocket light just at the back, so as I start to pour and the glass starts to fill, that it's able to illuminate the beer that's going to be in the glass, just to make it look a little nicer. So this brings me to the final shot of today's shoot, which is top-down shot. I have this thing that I have at home, this Lazy Susan, that I just put on top of my electric rotating display stand. And what's gonna happen is this is going to rotate, and I'm just going to film myself pouring it down. Then hopefully it works out, because it's just a one-man band today. Ideally, I want to have a C-stand, but I don't have a C-stand today with me at my home. So we're gonna try this out and see how it works out. So I'm done with all the shots, and this is the final result. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell for future videos from me. And if you're still watching, here are a couple of videos you could watch next, and I'll see you next time.